Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, I spoke to you about the drip effect in a video a couple of days ago when I was speaking to you about the Nigerian government introducing a 51,000 naira surcharge for Christian marriages, and I am saying that this is now the drip effect of this Fulanization that we have all been anticipating, and this is yet another step in that direction. So again, another step in that direction as I bring you this. Islamic group reacts as CJN calls for constitution amendment to accommodate Sharia law. So now, this is now the headline. So of course already you know where we're headed with this one. Islamic group reacts as CJN calls for constitution amendment to accommodate Sharia law. And now let's see exactly now what this now new development is. The Muslim Rights Concern, MURIC, has reacted to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Justice Mohammed Stanko's call for constitutional amendments to accommodate some peculiarities of Sharia law which have been ignored for so long. The CJN made the statement whilst declaring open the 20th Annual Judges Conference at the Ahmadu Bello University, ABU Zaria, Kaduna State yesterday. The CJN was represented by Justice Mohammed Danjuman, the Grand Qadi of Niger State. MURIC backed the CJN's suggestion, adding that the current constitution was a child of British colonial Christianization of the country, which has failed to take into consideration the multi-religious nature of the Nigerian nation. The MURIC spoke through its director, Professor Ishaq Akintola, who issued a press statement to journalists on Friday. The statement added, "The CJN has our full backing on this. The British colonial government bequeathed a legacy of Christianization to the Nigerian nation. Muslims were not comfortable with this, but the British did not listen. The British did not give a damn. The northern Muslim resisted and the British invaded the north. Muslim resistance was brutally broken by the ruthless massacre of thousands of Muslim freedom fighters in Hausa land, particularly in Burmi in 1903, Saturu in 1906, and Zinda in 1917. Even those who surrendered were not spared as they were mowed down with machine guns. Thereafter, the British victors curtailed Islamic landmarks. Islam had arrived in Kanem, Borno in the year 1085, 818 years before the invasion of the north by the British. During the reign of King Humi Julmi, whilst Christianity was first preached in 1842, 757 years after the advent of Islam, under the Acacia tree in Badagry. As far as we are concerned, therefore, the British who brought Christianity to Nigeria spread their religion by force after invading the north, after intimidating the southwest, and after subduing the Muslims who had been practicing their faith for more than 800 years. They used excessive force against the Muslim and carried out barbaric and extrajudicial killing. The bombardment of Lagos State in 1851 by Commodore Captain R.W. Bruce during the boiling battle, Ogun Ahoyaya, and the subsequent surrender of the city was the first Operation Shock and Awe designed to cow Southerners. It was equally intended to send a strong message to the north. The booming of cannon shells and other bombs was hitherto unknown to the city. Lagos quickly put its tail between its legs like a frightened dog, and other cities in the southwest took cue. And this, by the way, is a Yoruba man speaking to this, describing Lagos as a frightened dog, of course, because that is the language that he knows that his paymasters want to hear. But we carry on. It was fait accompli. The Muslim population cautioned its memberships against courting the heir of the colonial masters. This surrender paved the way for the creation of Lagos Colony 10 years later in 1861. From then onwards, the city of Lagos, which by 1775 had more than 50 Islamic schools, opened the floodgates to the intimidation and coercion of Muslim children in colonial schools. This persecution has lasted till date. We have gone down the lanes of history because today was born from the wombs of yesterday. Muslims in Yoruba land put up no armed resistance to the colonial invasion and forceful conversion, whereas northern Muslims died in their thousands resisting colonial invasion. This resulted in the bold and ruthless conversion of Muslims to Christians in the southwest, whereas the colonialists exercised caution in their dealing with the northern Muslims. This situation also informed the British adoption of indirect rule in the north. Nobody should ask MURIC to forget the history of the Nigerian Muslim. Brutalization of Muslims by the British marauders is part of our history, just as the forceful abandonment of Islamic landmarks as ordered by the British Christian evangelist. It was after the British had killed all Muslims who resisted their occupation in northern Nigeria and after they had imposed restrictions on the Sharia that they established Christian-oriented administration. Anyway, it goes on and on, so this guy has a lot to say, so I'm not going to run you through all that he has to say. I'm just going to pick it up from wherever it reintroduces the pertinence of the subject matter. Okay, I'll pick it up from this point. MURIC therefore embraces the CJN's idea of the need for constitutional amendment. It is even belated. It is part of restructuring. We hope the restructuring camp will welcome the CJN's idea because it is not going to be about Muslims' demands alone, but a comprehensive one. We call for objectivity in this matter. Those who always oppose anything which is likely to benefit Muslims are urged to consider this initiative with an open mind. Constitutional amendment has all the potentials to usher in peace and tranquility if we approach it with sincerity. So there you have it now. They are now going to introduce Sharia into the Nigerian legal books because there's absolutely nothing that's going to stop them from doing this. The Chief Justice of the country, another Muslim, has already muted this as an idea. So this is something that he wants to push, and they have 4 years to get this done. So that already is a signal that this is going to happen. The president of the country is a fervent Muslim and a northerner, and this is something that he would be partial to. So already also that captures that as well. Now the Senate of the Nigerian space is largely Muslim and majority of the ruling party. So there's absolutely nothing that will stop this thing, except of course, even protest from the southern regions to say that we cannot amend the constitution to favor a particular religion. Even all that would not be of any use because they would disregard it, because they have now formed the thought that all the southerners do is make a lot of noise and protest because they don't really have any potency to do anything beyond that. And then you go to court, and then of course they will dismiss whatever that court says out of hand because they don't believe in any law apart from this law now that they're about to introduce. So the Fulanization agenda is now starting to take shape, and watch this space effectively is what Malam Buhari and the cabal are saying to you now. So it is going to happen, and it is starting to happen, and we are seeing now the drip effect of it now as it continues now to manifest slowly but surely. Conversations in the comment section. Sharia rules is now how you are going to be ruled within the Nigerian space. Chop off the hand and beheading is now going to be the common topic of discussion within the Nigerian space. It never rains but pours within the Nigerian space, and it's forever been pouring now because it's almost like a monsoon season, a tornado or whatever. I'm not quite sure what the right adjective is that fits in with this slot, but you can come tell me all about that in the comment section. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me now what you are making of this continuous malamification of the Nigerian space in the comment section. So I'll leave you here and then join you in the comment section. But here I say peace.